go ahead and whatever you leave out, I'll cover.
Right on.
Yeah.
OK， 我们欢迎我们那个 Carrie 老师。
Not bad. Not bad. Actually, I usually have a list of critiques that I always have to give every time, but in this case, they don't all apply, and that's good. The volume of your voices, not bad. I could hear everyone fairly clearly. I usually have to remind speech or storytelling, but not in this case. The pace of your speeches, how quickly or how slowly you spoke them, was fairly balanced. I didn't see too many robots up here reading their speech in their mind while they were, so it was fairly balanced. That was good. Memorization, not bad. Not bad, actually. This is probably the best group of storytellers or speech makers I've heard as far as memorization goes. Everybody seemed to have it together. I only saw a few people jolt when they heard that bell. Because I know what you were thinking. Oh gosh, I gotta wrap it up. Now where am I at in the story? Memorization, not bad, not bad. Actually, pronunciation was okay too. It was okay too. But let me share 2 examples on why pronunciation is so important. Now, I don't remember who said this, and I'm not trying to point somebody out, so I won't say, I can't remember who said it. But just for an example, there was one word that lazy, the word lazy. Oh, now everybody knows, right? Okay. But this is only an example. This is only an example. Because it wasn't spoken so clearly, I thought the word was lady. So you can see how big of a difference in my mind what I hear, you know, between lazy and lady. I have a completely different picture in my mind of what you're trying to tell me. So that's just one example. So this isn't to point anybody out. Everybody had small problems like that. That was just the most clear example. And I won't worry about the other example. It's not important. Let's see. Because everyone was did so well with their memorization, it kind of opened the door to giving you more opportunity to act out in gesture, which is good. But one thing you don't want to do is too many gestures. Because then I get distracted watching your body move all over the place, and I forget to listen to what you're saying. So, choose your gestures carefully. Of course, you want to think about what's the subject of the sentence you're using a gesture for, or maybe the adjective or adverb. Like if you're wanting to talk quietly. Okay, that's a good place for a gesture. Or if you're really in a hurry trying to get to work. That's a good gesture. You know, you use quietly as your cue or hurry as your cue. Just make sure it's important. And here's an exercise you can use to help you decide what gestures are good and what are not. Honestly, you should practice in front of your classmates. You should practice this in front of people because speeches and storytelling, you're trying to talk to another person, right? So you want to do this. So an exercise for testing your gestures would be give your speech without using your words. Recite your speech in your head and use your gestures as you would. And then ask your classmate, did any of that make sense to you? And then you'll start to realize there's lots of body gestures your gestures are there to make things more clear, not just so you can move and show how well you can gesture, okay? And that was my biggest problem, is all the gesturing. But it's because you did so well memorizing, so just find that balance. This is actually one of the few times I saw people starting to use props and costumes. That's okay, but don't go crazy and come out here with 5 or 6 props to have to use. You know, pick your costume pieces or your props carefully, just like your gestures. Make sure they help you tell the story, okay, and they don't get in your way. And yep, that's it. Otherwise, good job. This is probably the best storytelling contest I've seen, so good job.